In a cozy little corner of the world, nestled beside a pond as smooth as glass, lived a cheerful little frog named Riko. Now, Riko wasn't just any frog. He was the champion jumper of the entire pond. His days were a whirlwind of leaps and bounds, a constant, energetic dance from one lily pad to another. Plip, plop, splish, splash. That was the soundtrack to Riko's life. He loved the feeling of the cool water splashing up as he landed, the blur of green as the world zoomed by, and the sheer thrill of moving as fast as his strong little legs could carry him. To Riko, speed was everything. Why wait when you could leap? Why sit still when you could be on the move? He'd race the dragonflies from one end of the pond to the other, his little heart thumping with excitement. He'd try to catch raindrops before they even hit the water's surface. His friends, the slow-moving turtles and the patient herons, would often shake their heads with a smile. "Slow down, Riko," they'd say. "You'll miss the best parts." But Riko would just laugh, already mid-air, on his way to the next adventure. "Can't. Too much to see, too much to do," he'd call back over his shoulder. One of his favorite things in the whole wide world was watching the fireflies, as the sun would dip below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple. The fireflies would begin their nightly ballet. They would rise from the tall grasses at the water's edge, their tiny lights blinking on and off, like 1,000 tiny fallen stars had come to life. To Riko, it was the most magical show on earth. This one particular evening, Riko was more excited than ever. He had found the perfect lily pad, right in the middle of the pond, which he declared the best seat in the house. As the first few fireflies started to glow, Riko's excitement bubbled over. He couldn't just sit there. He had to get closer. He had to be part of the magic. So, he did what he did best. He jumped, splash. He landed on a nearby lily pad, sending a cascade of water droplets flying through the air. The few fireflies that were hovering nearby were startled. Their lights flickered and went out as they darted away into the darkness. "Oh," Riko thought, a little disappointed. "They're just a bit shy." He decided he needed to be even faster to get a better look. He took a mighty leap, soaring through the twilight air. Sploosh! This time, the splash was even bigger. It rocked the lily pads and sent ripples all the way to the shore. The small groups of fireflies that had started to gather were completely frightened. One by one, their lights winked out, and they scattered, disappearing into the safety of the reeds and the deep shadows of the willow trees. The pond fell silent. The magical glow was gone. Riko sat on his lily pad, the water dripping from his chin, and looked around. The air was empty. The only light came from the pale moon reflecting on the now still water. His heart, which was usually so full of zippy energy, felt heavy and quiet. He hadn't meant to scare them. He just wanted to see their beautiful lights up close. Why did they all fly away? He sat there for a long time. He didn't jump. He didn't even twitch. For the first time in what felt like forever, Riko was completely still. The usual urge to hop and leap was gone, replaced by a feeling of deep disappointment. He listened. He heard the gentle chirping of the crickets, a sound he was usually too busy to notice. He heard the soft rustle of the wind in the willow branches. He watched the moon's reflection shimmer and dance on the water's surface. The world, he realized, was full of quiet, gentle sounds and sights. As he sat there, just breathing, something amazing happened. Out of the corner of his eye, he saw a tiny, hesitant flicker. A single firefly had emerged from the reeds. It blinked its light once, then twice. Riko held his breath. He didn't move a muscle. He wanted so badly to jump towards it. But he remembered the big splashes and the scared little lights. So he waited. Slowly, another light appeared, and then another, and another. The brave little fireflies were coming back. Seeing that the boisterous frog was now as still as a stone, they grew bolder. They drifted out over the water, their lights pulsating in a soft, gentle rhythm. They seemed to be communicating, telling each other that it was safe now. A few of them floated closer to Riko. One landed on the edge of his lily pad, its light glowing with a warm, soft luminescence. Riko stared, mesmerized. It was even more beautiful up close than he could have ever imagined. It was like holding a tiny, living star. He didn't need to jump towards it. He just needed to be patient and let it come to him. Soon, the air around him was filled with them. The fireflies danced all around him, their lights creating swirling patterns in the dark. They weren't afraid anymore. They seemed to accept his quiet presence. It was a silent, magical party, and Riko was the guest of honor. He sat in the middle of it all, a small, still frog surrounded by a galaxy of blinking lights. The show wasn't just in front of him anymore. It was all around him. He was a part of it. This was a different kind of thrill. It wasn't the fast, heart-pounding excitement of a big jump. It was a slow, warm feeling that spread through his whole body, a feeling of peace and wonder. He realized that his friends, the turtle and the heron, were right. By always rushing, he had been splashing through the very magic he was trying to find. But by slowing down, by being patient, he had allowed the beauty of the world to unfold right before his eyes. From that night on, Riko was a different frog. Oh, he still loved a good jump, and he could still race a dragonfly with the best of them. But he also learned the joy of stillness. He learned to appreciate the quiet moments just as much as the exciting ones. Some evenings, he would still sit on his favorite lily pad in the middle of the pond, but instead of jumping, he would just wait. He'd watch the sunset bleed across the sky, listen to the evening chorus of the pond, and wait for his friends, the fireflies. And every single time they would come, they would surround him with their gentle, glowing light. And Riko the frog would sit peacefully in their midst, feeling like the luckiest frog in the world. He had learned that sometimes, the most beautiful things in life don't need to be chased. They just need you to be still and patient enough to let them find you. The world, he now knew, felt much calmer and so much brighter when you took the time to truly see it.